Come on, you guys. Look, let me just go ahead and say this right here, right now. Don't act too surprised that I'm talking about this. Don't, like, for real. Don't act surprised that I'm going to be talking about this because I talked about chapter one months ago. And again, given my recent update video I did on Naruto, I already said, look, as far as like pairing stuff goes, it's out the window for me. But, fan projects and whatnot, I'm here all day, every day. And of course, let me get my little intro out of the way, guys. What's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys the one, the only, Chad Georgiana's Kaika Saisei Chapter 2. And I still feel like I'm butchering the last part of the title. I really do. So, chat, I know you're watching this. And if I'm messing up on the pronunciation of the last word, please do correct me because I felt bad for messing up. But anyway, chapter 2 has been something I've been looking forward to for a while because for those of you that don't know, uh, Kaika Sese, which I think I talked about it in the first stream, but pretty much it's based on, like a fan project that chat made, it's your friend of mine, and I was looking up and having like a jug of water me because when I did my last stream, I had barely any water. So I was like, I'm gonna fix up for this stream and just go through because you know what they say, you need your fluids to survive. Anyway, going on what I was saying. So after chapter one ended, I remember let me reread chapter two just to get an idea of like what could be in this uh adaptation of Kaika Sese. And needless to say, I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. And very similarly to what I did before, y'all know the drill of what's about to happen, and a share screen's about to take place. Which I haven't done one of these things in forever. I'm supposed to be like the big on master here, like, hey, Lucky G, let's share the screen. That's what I'm doing. But where is this? And Chad's probably over here in the corner just laughing at me, going like he knows what to do. He's just taking his time. No, not cinema mode. That's not what I'm trying to get to either. Where is this? Swear to God, I feel like Streamer has like new stuff every time I'm on here. Share screen. There we go. I just need a little tab just to figure out where I am. And there we go. Perfect. Just over here. So chapter two. I hope it stays there. Yep, perfect. So chapter two, titled Transition. And you've got this nice, beautiful cover art of Kakashi and Tsunade. Very fitting again with the chapter title because again, transition. So you're transitioning from Tsunade to Kakashi. And honestly speaking, I kind of missed this. Like, I forget when in the original Naruto, but like after a certain point, like the cover pages just stop. And I'm like that used to be like a real charm to the original manga, and then after a certain point, it just fades. You know, just one of those things. But let's see here, chapter two. Of course, Kaika Sensei by Chatte Georgiana, and art again done beautifully by Ravinia, and going all the way here. Oh, by the way, for those of you that aren't aware, this is actually on the website. So Kaika Sensei, I think last time when I did this, did it have an official site or not? Chat, you can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But from what I remember, I don't think the site was officially done yet. So it's good to know that there's a place now for all of us to come in, like, read chapter two. And for those of you wondering about the thumbnail, I'll be honest, there were a few panels here that I looked at and I was like, which one do I want to use? And I almost actually went with this one, like this page right over here, where you just have Sakura like just giggling at Naruto's like facial reaction. Like almost went with that one, like just with just them two. And then I was like, as much as I would love it to just be centered on Naruto and Sakura, because I am a Naruto Sakura shipper first and foremost. But the thing is this: I want it to be, I want these thumbnails to represent kind of almost what the chapter is insinuating. And I figured the one with the thumbnail that I used, not only was it amusing, but it kind of does have a point with a long-standing joke everyone's had in the fandom. So there's that. But there will be a Narasaku's thumbnail at some point in one of the future chapters, depending on like how impactful it's going to be. And actually, now that I think about it, for those of you that are just keeping up with Kaika just through the Dojin adaptation of it, I think there is one that's going to be coming up, and I might use that one. Chat probably knows which one I'm referring to, but because there is one that like really stood out to me, and I was like, hmm, you might be the one I'll use. So one of these days I'm going to use it for sure. But going off from there, we have Naruto, we have Sakura, we have Yamato, and I've always preferenced this in the past before. I was never really a huge fan of Sakura's long hair, especially by 699, because to me the long hair kind of represented, her obsession with Sasuke, and it was like she only grew her hair out because Sasuke like girls with long hair. So when I not necessarily here per se, but when I saw it on 699, I was like, oh dear lord. I'm like, let's not go back to this, please. But here's the thing: I don't have an issue with it here. I really don't. Because instead of it for me being like, all right, this is just what Sakura had because, oh, hey, Sasuke googly eyes. No. For me, now I'm looking at this and I'm loving it. Like, what was a huge issue for me in canon, I'm not really having an issue with it now because I don't know. And it probably has to do with like how close the art style is to Kishi. But Ravini's done a tremendous job. And I'll be honest, I actually think the way how her hair is a little bit stylized here, it actually makes her look a little bit more cuter, in my opinion. But let's see here. Then you got Yamato, got Sakura just kind of wondering what's going on. And she's like, Yamato Taicho, is everything okay with you? Don't try to tell me everything else, but the truth. And he's like, hmm, how do I want to go about this? Again, he's just like, yeah, how am I exactly gonna explain like these two knuckleheads, like this one and this one particular, just how they're interacting? I'm fine, Sakura. Just tired, and truthfully, I need a break from everything that's happened, especially in the war. And then you get like investigator Sock. That's like my nickname for her when this whole scene was happening. Because she's like, Taicho, I understood from Tsunade-sama that you were used as a power source for the enemy's army. Is it true? And Naruto's like, eh? Yamato Taicho, is that really true? And he's like, yes, it is. Apparently, I have Hashirama's. Apparently, oh yeah, apparently having Hashirama cells meant a bullseye target on my back all along. So I was kind of shocked, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm laughing a lot, but like these reactions, like they take me back like so much. Like y'all have no idea. Like just the way how she like glances back over at Naruto. Like it's like so old school, and I love it. Oh, since we were talking about Hashirama Dono, Naruto, listen up. After we're done with the final mantle transfer from Tsunade-sama to Kakashi Sensei, you should come down with us to the hospital. And Naruto's like, oh, wait, but why? Like, what's the point? Which Sakura says, some things are never going to change, are they? She's like, because of your arm, you idiot. And you see, like, how terrified Naruto is a little. He's like, but I don't need it fixed. Sasuke didn't get his either, which again, just the reactions. Naruto, and he's thinking back to that moment from the war. When will you start thinking about yourself, you idiot? I've had enough with one idiot who refused to wait to have his arm fixed. I'm not having the other one do the same. And actually, here's a fun fact, Chad. So this panel over here, I almost like really considered this one too. This was actually one of the other panels I thought about using, but then, you know, the other one just spoke so much for me, actually. Plus, you should really start to put yourself first once in a while. Okay? Got the worried expression too. Got the famous kiss of life panel moment. I don't know. Did I call it the kiss of life moment? No, I called it something else entirely. I know that when I did the chapter title review for it, but it is essentially the kiss of life that Sakura's given for sure. You were about to die in this damn war. Then you and Sasuke-kun had to go fight to finally put your differences to the side. And like two idiots that you both are, you broke your arms. Plus, it's a matter of being able to properly mold chakra. How do you think you'll be able to do it with half an arm missing? Huh? To which Naruto's like, great. she kind of has a point about that. I have no way to like tiptoe around this. And Sakura's like, nope, I don't want to hear it. You're coming with me and Tsunade-sama to get your arm fixed. End the story. You hear me? To which yeah, Yamato looks over in the corner at the way Sakura's scolding Naruto, and he's like, "Yep, I'm. There's literally no way for me to walk around this at all." He's smiling, thinking back to how their dynamic was early on, and he's like, um, "Let's go over there." And again, speaking of another panel that I thought about using, this is actually one I highly considered using too, which is this reaction right here. Because I don't know, it, that one just spoke out to me too. And you know, it's the shipper in me. I'm not gonna deny that. But with time comes development. You know what they always say. a term Naruto should have really delved heavily into, if I'm being perfectly honest. But what do I know? You two go ahead. I have to write the report first before coming to the office to give the verbal reporting as well. Both Naruto and Sakura say, okay, this is the mission reports box. This it's Tsunade, and she's basically explaining all of this to Kakashi. And I can just imagine how Kakashi's feeling. He's just like looking at this thing and like, what did I get myself into? Like I said I wanted to be Hokage, but this is the last thing I wanted to do. Why? Why did I have to deal with all this? I mean, look, obviously he's keeping it cool, but you can tell. Kakashi's like, oh, hell no. This one's the general incidents reports, the general inquiries. This one here is the Academy's reports. And this one here is the general military expense report. While next to it, war cost report, and on top of that is the village reconstruction costs report. And these would be the ones you need to take a look to take a look over. First things first, while others are on their way. And again, you could just tell how Kakashi is. He's like, I've entered a life of hell, haven't I? Like, this is clearly hell for me. Like, that is essentially what is about to happen. Also, 1 o'clock in the background, just like some makes those sounds like every hour upon the hour on air. Anyway, buckle up, Hotake. You're in for a world, or I said a world, for a wild administrative and political ride. Till and again, Kakashi, Kadame-sama, you seem to enjoy this a little bit too much, aren't you? And they both look entirely surprised with a knock on the door, and Tsunade's like, "Come in." To which you got Naruto and Sakura looking all smiley, looking all cheerful and happy. Sorry about that. It's a force of habit. Right on time, you two. Just finished with Kakashi here. Put him on track. Uh, with all the things that he has to take care of. So I'm all ready to set. And she looks at Naruto like, Naruto, ready to have your arm fixed? And again, just expressions are amusing. Just the way Sakura like just gives him that glare, and he's like, "Yes, ma'am. Always, ma'am. 100%." And then Tsunade looks back at Kakashi. Oi, Kakashi. One more thing I'd advise you to do, though. And he's like, "What's that, Gadame?" So many things to do. How does she keep up with everything? All while training Sakura. No particular bloodline, but intelligent and strong spirited. Fine. I'll see what she's made of. And yet, to come out of it so well, still. And Tsunade's like a ceremony. Huh? Objective? To promote your fellow soldiers. Okay, I'm ad-libbing this a little bit. For their efforts and achievements in the war. I tell you, I will never get tired of this. Just this panel over here. Sakura just giggling in the corner. Naruto's like, okay, let's stop reminding ourselves that I'm still a Genin, because Tsunade's like this one here, like here, Uzumaki Naruto, hero of the Leaf, hero of the Fourth Great Ninja War. He's still a Genin. We should do something about this. I think it's also just kind of funny too, because apparently in the uh what was it, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Sarada's still a Genin too, so there's that. But no, like just Naruto's expression, like I never get exhausted of this. Like it's too funny. Too funny. He's supposed to be next in line after you, remember? Well, me, you, every person on this earth and their grandpas, mine included, heard about how he wants to be Hokage someday. So naturally, he'll be one. And she's just thinking back. Naruto and B can lend much battle strength. Why hide them away? To which Tsunade actually says, in terms of power, at least, that's not even questionable. But who's gonna appoint Hokage a Genin? Are you? And then she looks over. She's like, and this one. This one deserves a promotion for all she's accomplished in the war. So, oh my god, I just thought about this right now. So Sakura would be a Jonin, and Naruto would be a Chu. I hope at some point we actually do have a. Actually, I don't know. Chat, you can correct me on this, but you haven't reached a point in the story yet where Naruto and Sakura like are both like the same rank, right? I just want a little clarification on that, just to get a general sense. But I do think it's kind of cute and adorable to see Sakura like wait, no, don't praise me like that. I always knew you had it in you. See her looking all cheeky, smiling. And then you have Tsunade thinking back to her time with Jiraiya. Gonna miss you forever, my dude, but you were a true G. Then there's Orochimaru, still questioning why he's still alive in Boruto, even though he's under surveillance. And then, of course, Sakura, Naruto, Sasuke. And like again, you want direct parallels. Here's one right here. Sakura scolding Naruto and Sasuke's in the background. Tsunade scolding Jiraiya with Orochimaru in the background. They're in tears. Tsunade's in tears, thinking about Dawn and. Oh my god! How did I forget about her brother? Shoot. Hold up, I'm looking this up right now. I am not forgetting this on the spot. Oh my, and I call myself a Naruto fan. Oh. Let me see. We are gonna remember this at the top of my head. Nawaki! Yeah, there we go. Nawaki Kawaki. Huh. What are the odds? But yeah, Nawaki, and then you have Sakura, a similar expression, thinking about Naruto, and then Sasuke. Yeah, almost a super direct parallel too. Over here, you got Tsunade, Sakura, got them both on top of Katsuyu when Tsunade punched Madara. And this I'll say this: I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I love this part when Sakura like bashed Kage on the head. That to me was like one of like her really like last defining highlights because man, I still think it's so dumb with what happened to her in 693. Really, and like my thing was this: at the very least, give Sakura at least a chance to fight Sasuke. Like, sure, she might have lost, but I would have said, okay, look, let Sakura have her encounter with Sasuke. Like, try to stop him herself. And like, look, we knew ultimately the final fight was going to be Naruto versus Sasuke. But I still remember like thinking like Kishi. The least you could have done was give homegirl a chance. Come on, like at least give her like that one highlighted moment of her fighting Sasuke. Couldn't even do that. But anyway, moving on from that, yeah, Tsunade. Are we clear on the recommendations, Hatake? And you get Kakashi thinking back too. The little girl from back then has indeed grown. Since back then, I've seen it. Like Naruto, Sakura has always had an unwavering spirit. Given who his family is, maybe it was expected. Sakura's family, on the other hand, nothing remarkable about them. I didn't do much for her either. Again, true fact, but it's all thanks to Tsunade-sama. All the training she spent. Your advice is much appreciated, Gadame. I will start the preparations as soon as possible. You do that, Hatake. Best of luck. You know where to find me if you need me. They say goodbye, Kakashi Sensei. Bye bye, Sensei. Bye bye. I'm totally in a world of hell right now. Man, I'm sorry. I could just again, I'm just channeling like the inner Kakashi's. Like I am totally in hell with what's about to take place. Also, I'm gonna close my mail app because it keeps going up like every 10 minutes. Like, and actually, we end off with this. Let's get your arm fixed, Naruto, with Sakura, Naruto following Tsunade, and then I just love this. It's a little author's notes. For those of you that don't know me, when it comes to like stories, I always love getting the author's notes because it kind of gives a sense of not recognition per se, but you kind of get like their thought process on like like how certain things came about, certain concepts, and like just general admiration from like the readers. And even when I do that with my own stories through like the Tale of Sachiko, like I always put like my own little author's notes in the corner because I just feel like it's a great thing, and Chad feels the same way too. There's no doubt about that. Thank you for reading Kaika Saisei Chapter 2. Hi everyone, and by the way, Chad, I don't know if I commented on this, but I love your little profile pic. It looks amazing with the cat and the glasses and the Byakugo seal. Maybe an album mask actually now that I'm looking at it. But anyway, I wanted to first begin by thanking you for taking the time to read Kaika Sesei's second chapter. I can't believe we're actually here. It's been a dream come true in the making. And seeing everyone's response to Kaika is so humbling. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart for reading and supporting this project of mine. Hey, all here every day, 365, as they always say. Anyway, most of all, I would like to thank the translation team, to my dear star writer for being there always and giving me the idea to have Kaika translated in more than English and Spanish. To Rav for not only drawing this, but also translating it into Spanish. To my sweet Mary for helping out with the French one, and to the lovely uh, KDK for helping out with the German. Last but not least, I want to thank Squid Ship and oh my god, I'm gonna butcher on this one too. Uh, Densetsu Seke no Fantasy for coming in last minute to help me with Chinese and Italian translations. Kaika wouldn't be the same without them. I am so incredibly blessed to have these wonderful people helping me out. Ah, yes. Kaika's coming in more languages. I hope you enjoy this chapter and continue to support it the way you did until now. There are lots of goodies coming in for the future chapters. That's, oh man, hitting me in the feelings with this one. A promise of a lifetime. The war's been tough on all of us. Can you help me raise money for the next Kaika chapter so I can invite Sakura-chan on a date and surprise her with it? Ah, dude, that's cute. I actually really like this one too. But yeah, no, that's chapter two. Which, for anyone that's curious, I do want to say this: that the contents we see in chapter two, I'm not gonna spoil anything because again, that's all gonna be saved for like the big story whenever we get chapter three. But pretty much what we covered for Kaika chapter two. And I actually had to go back on this because I was like, wait, I don't recall chapter two like ending right here. So I actually went back and looked at like like the original like written format that Chad wrote it in, and that's coming out from the page by the way. Basically, what we covered was only just the first. I want to say the first five and a half pages. Yeah, like only just the first five and a half pages of chapter two. And again, I'm not gonna spoil what the rest of the content is of chapter two, but like Chad dives into like a lot of interesting things. things that I and she's gonna get on to me for this because her and I had this little thing going on when it came to names, but this isn't necessarily naming things, but like she dives into certain elements that I've kind of thought of, and I honestly thought it was just really, really interesting, really fascinating. And what that's gonna be, I'm actually really looking forward to the most because it's one thing to read like a story in like written format and like visualizing it in your head, and it's a completely different scenario when you're like seeing it visually. So I am really, really looking forward to seeing like what or like how like Ravini's gonna like actually translate like the following content of chapter two and like present that like in like this you know Dojin format, which I again so far has been a real treat. And I'm gonna say this: I said it last time. Last chapter was what, like, pure perfection, I think, and this chapter, look, I can be totally biased and say, "Yo, it's a full on pure perfection." If I really wanted to, I'm gonna say amazing plus. And let me tell you why I'm not gonna give it the full pure perfection because I wanted more. I'm gonna just say that right now. I wanted more, and I'm like, man, we were just getting started. That's really the best way I can say it. So really, the only negative is just me nitpicking. I'm like looking at that again, like, man, Chad, we were just getting started. Like the real meat and potatoes, which again, for those people that are just gonna be sticking with Kaika just through this, again, y'all have no idea what Chad has in store for y'all, and that's gonna be amazing for sure. Speaking of, hey, Chad's been here the whole time. Hey, how's it going? Hi, no worries. Will do. It didn't. Yeah. Okay, that was freaky. Anyway, it didn't have an official website back then. I had it on a media. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, it was on MediaBank. I remember that. I have an entire plot line for her hair growth. Hmm. Now, Chad's leaving me in suspense for the growth of her hair. Huh. I want. Part of me wonders. Now, again, I could be totally speculating on this. I wonder if it has to do with Kushina. I'm just thinking. I wonder like, if her hair growth has in some ties to Kushina. Now, again, I might be just reaching out there on this one, but I'm just thinking, like as a writer, you can't help but like just think of like the different possibilities, of different scenarios, and it's like they always say, there's always that one fork in the road, and one single fork can stray down one path, or it could stray down a whole different path. Let's see here. I haven't gotten to the ceremony part. Oh, okay, cool, cool. So that hasn't happened yet. That's upcoming Nawaki. Yeah, there we go. And hey, JMC's here. Hey, how's it going? Hey. So, and by the way, let me make one thing clear. I'm still seeing shit from like like Andes and everyone like still like like shit talking chat about Kaika and how it's all like Narusaku agenda, like much like how you've still got cats to this day still shitting on AOT no Requiem because it's for the people that thought Aaron was gonna do this, or it was Era Hisu. I'm like, guys, y'all have your own little corner. Just because it's not canon doesn't give y'all the right to like say, "Hey, let's go shit on this." No, like if anything, that just makes y'all look petty. And I've already addressed this in the last stream, but It's like, come on, when it's a passion project, and when they clearly say that this project is not for those who enjoy the canon, it's for those who, want to feel, their own satisfaction, their own conclusion to what they love. I think that's totally justifiable. I really do. I think it's justifiable for those, to, step into, their own creative world and like just talk about, you know, what they wish they saw happen. And again, that's why I will always support chat because this to me speaks volumes of what I wanted to see in Naruto. And hey, Blue, you missed it. Well, you can always go back and like listen in on the rest of it, but we're still here. I'm not ending the stream right now, but I'm just saying that, like, I'm at a loss for words here. But no, basically, what I'm trying to say here is that everyone has a right to feel how they feel. But I will always say this: if you love something and you don't like a certain thing, and you just want to like shit talk that person because, oh, it wasn't a part of the original story, okay, good for you. But don't shit on that person. Because if anything, like I said, it just makes you look like a complete dick and a fool. And really, it just makes you look like a total loser. Keep it brief and playful, if you will. And yeah, I mean, like I said, chapter two, really great, really amazing. My only nitpick, I wanted more. I wanted more from this. But seeing with where this ended off, I think it's a good stopping point for for the adaptation because, like I said, y'all have no idea what's coming, except for those who've actually read the other content of what chat's written. Guess he needs to announce it a little earlier. I thought about that too, chat. Like I actually did think about like announcing when I was gonna do the stream, but then I kind of thought about like, hmm, should I announce it or should I like just drop it out of the blue? Like I feel like it's more of a there's more of a surprising factor of like just actually dropping it like out of nowhere, and it's like, whoa, oh shit, lucky she's like doing the stream. I think that it's a little more fun doing it like it's like, wait a second, what? But no, I totally get that viewpoint too. Maybe who knows? Like, do y'all think I should uh announce like what time I'm gonna be doing these streams beforehand, or y'all like the fact of like me just like dropping it like just out of the blue? And I'll be honest, truth be told, I did want to tackle this earlier, but I got super caught up earlier in the day, and I was like, I just got to tackle this at some point, and I'm finally doing it here. And yeah, no, let me look back on chapter three real quick. So, or not chapter three, but chapter two. So, chapter two, I'm looking at it right now, and don't mind me and my page turning. There's Yeah, so it's 18. So the original length of chapter 2 in written format is 18. Yeah, it's 18 pages. And if you're including the cover art, it's 19. But given that, I would say, so we covered 5.5 pages for this one. I really gotta think. Maybe, I mean, could you tackle the last, what, 14 pages in the next chapter? That's a possibility for sure. But I mean, again, I have no control over that. That's all completely up to Chad and Rav. But either way, I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. As always, it's always great again to have Chad here, just like joining in on the discussion. It's great to have, you know, JMC here. It's great to have the Cursed Lord. I'm sorry, Blue Star. I can't ever get away from this, can I? Never. Never, ever, ever. Let's see here. Guess he needs to announce it a little bit earlier. I mean, if you want to have an audience, yeah, that's actually a great point too. And actually, here's the funny thing. I actually used to do that a lot. Um, when I started, like I actually used to announce when certain dates would be happening. But I think what happened, no, actually, it's not. I think I know. Um, sometimes like I would never like reach like a time or day that I was gonna, tackle that. And some of them that would just kind of annoy me. I'm like, because then I'd have to be like, "Ah, I'm not gonna make it. I gotta like work around my announcement dates." And that's why, kind of now I'm like, let me just do the streams when I know I can do the streams. And I mean, granted, I'm still kind of going through that right now with, with my own little passion project with Tale of Sachika Uzumaki. But that one more so is just, due to like my own personal health. Because, I mean, I'm fine for the most part. Just dealing with a bad cold and just minor headaches here and there. So I'll say this, like how I've been like earlier in the week, like from this past week, and then now, like I'm much better. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be streaming. But you know, don't mind me. I'm just still drinking water. Says a lot. Let's see here, and then chat says it's good. Okay, so it's gonna be in 3 parts of Gods and Goddesses, part 1, 2, and 3. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, and that's the original chapter title, by the way, guys. It was titled "Of Gods and Goddesses." So yeah, there's a lot that's gonna be covered here with those content. Because, like I said, it's a lot. There's a lot chat throws into the original format of chapter 2. That's like, it's like, well, okay, but with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much all I gotta say here when it comes to this live stream discussion slash review on Kaika Saisei Chapter 2. Again, I have so much fun, doing these because it's not, and this is also just me just wanting to, just branch out from, like just official, like, like the canon content. Like, I think it's a lot of fun when you're talking about like other things, like talk about like some, like fan stuff and, just like give support. It's the best way I can explain it. And I think it's just a lot of fun to like just just theory craft, like like what if scenarios and all that. The translation from written format to manga is so different. There are many things that you need to take into consideration when doing the transition. Oh, I know that full well. Like it's a lot to transition from like written to manga. Especially actually, now that I think about it, fun fact for those of you that don't know, um I used to do filming back in high school. And when I would write something, like I envisioned it a certain way, but the and I kid you not here, the process of like taking like a script and actually translating that into like film, sometimes you would have to like work around it, and it was a lot to take in. So it's kind of similar to that too, like how you write something and how you're like translating into like a comic. Again, 2 different mediums, but it's like what chat says. You really have to take that into consideration when you're translating things, and that's true for anything. Like, imagine taking what's a good example I could think of here? try. Okay, let's say at some point in time you get a well, no. If you're translating a manga to anime, I mean, for the most part, if you really look at it, going from manga to anime, the manga you could kind of argue is like the storyboard for the anime in a lot of ways. That's pretty much what it would be. So, okay, here's a good example. Take Sword Art Online. That's a light novel, okay? That's written for the most part. You have a few color page spreads, not color page spreads, but you have like a few like colored pages here and there in Sword Art Online. Or I'll take it even a step further. Take a Rising of the Shield Hero. It's another light novel. So it's in written format. You've got a few color pages here and there, but for the most part, you're just visualizing like how certain scenes would play out, and then you take those scenes in written format, and then you're translating it into into an anime. And because again, the big difference there is that you have to deal with voice acting. You got to deal with like animation. You got to deal with OSTs. Like there's a lot that goes into that. And again, like I said, it's a little bit of a higher ball with going from written to manga translation. But you know, food for thought, Chad. How would you feel if like you were able to get Kaika to be like a you know like a fan animated project? Because I can just imagine how well this would actually look if it was like animated. And I mean, who knows? Maybe you've thought about it too. Now that I think about it, maybe. Let's see here. Exactly. When I do the scripting, I realize that writing is different than scripting for visual format. Oh yeah, definitely. For example, those parallels you saw with Tsunade and Sakura, that's the part of the story where Tsunade lists all the things Sakura has done and thinks to herself, that's her girl. As in her student who walked on her path. Oh yeah, I could definitely see that. I see that 110% when it comes to that. And actually, let me uh not share the screen because I've been done with that for a while. But because and also, I mean, just look at this. You could never go wrong with this. What's it called? This profile pic for me has always just been like my personal favorite. You know, like Sakura with the cherry blossoms and her just like putting her gloves on. Honestly, I wish we saw more of that. I really do. Like, I really miss when Sakura was like, like the strong competitive, like like kick butt girl. Like we don't see that often anymore. And like, okay, you did see it in the war, sure, but I wish we saw more of it. You know what I mean? OMG, that would be crazy. I would like to commission some sprites at some point. Who knows? Waiting for the future. I mean, hey, look, Chad. If that's something that happens in the future, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done any voice acting or anything, but eh, a few impersonations, even in the future. Who knows? It'd be fun. Imagine me voicing Sasuke. That'd be fun. Oh, okay, okay. You should get at least 10 chapters out first before animating it. Well, yeah, I think 10 chapters would be. No, I wouldn't even say 10 blue. I would give it at least 20. I think 20 is more than enough because, and I say 20 because to me, you need to have like a lot of content. And the last thing you want to do is like, like catch up. Because that was a huge issue when it came to like Naruto. Like, do y'all remember when the fourth Greninja War happened? Like, I remember I got so stoked because I was like, We escaped filler hell. Finally, we don't have to worry about that. And somehow, some way, Studio Period was like, "Hey, we may be in the same arc as the manga, but we're still gonna include fillers." I was like, "Ah, shit." Who knows? We could talk about the war at some point. Although to be fair, we did get the Kakashi Anbu arc, which, in my opinion, is one of the best filler arcs in general. Like honestly, if there was one filler arc I would want to take as canon, I would take Kakashi Anbu. Like that to me is like one of the best. But I'm going off on a tangent here. Well, I don't know if an entire chapter, just a scene here and there. Yeah, I would say maybe start off with like like just the opening of chapter one. That'd be really cool to see animated for sure. Well, I mean, here's the other thing, Blue. I just thought about this also. Take into account uh with Naruto Alternative the Last. Like, I loved what we got with that fan animated film project, but you do also see a little bit of what they're going through. They're thinking about waiting on the rest of the content for the most part to be finished. And I don't know if the entire goal is to say have like do the rest of it as one, or if they want to do it in the three parts. But you see, that's kind of an issue that they want to do also. But I mean, it would be a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it would definitely be a lot of fun to see. And I mean, aside from that, I think that's pretty much all I gotta say here when it comes to this live stream discussion review chat. When it comes to Kaika Saisei Chapter 2, I mean, it was a lot of fun. And I don't know how many times I've preferenced that, but it really was a lot of fun just sitting here, just relaxing, and just talking about Kaika, talking about Sakura, talking about Naruto in a completely different light that's separate from the canon. And yeah, so I will say this: I know there's a lot of like support for Chapter 3, and I'm looking forward to Chapter 3 also. Make no mistake about that. But I will say this: take as much time as you need, chat. Like we're in no rush to get future content for the manga, and because I know this as a upcoming writer myself, the last thing you want to do is like rush something and just do it just for the sake of like, oh man, I'm running on a deadline. I got to make sure I get all these parts in, because it's one of those things. So definitely do take your time, and we'll all be here. We will definitely all be here when chapter 3 drops. And you all know at this point, when chapter 3 does drop, your boy's gonna be coming back here full swinging. And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky Cheese 7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Naruto content, Naruto fan content, and chat. It was a lot of fun having you here again, like just taking part in the chat and just talking with you as always. And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky Cheese 7. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Naruto content, more Naruto fan content, and of course for Kaika Saisei. And do please show your love and support for Chad. Please do, because she really needs it and deserves it too. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Till next time. Peace, guys.